The He podcast is presented by Little Ones, made for the little ones. Who is he? He is me. Hi, I'm Refie Redzuan. This is he. Here is my chance to share some amazing stories with some amazing people that are inspiring to me. He celebrates everyday people of everyday life. He revolves around conversations that inspire others to change the world and make a difference in life, with a little bit of laughter and a whole lot of drama. Join me for personal stories and experiences on health and healing, successes and failures, recovery and discovery, anything relatable, and anything in between. He elevates us to rise again and live our very best life. Just so you know, you are not alone. He is with you. Once upon a time, there was a mother of two little ones. As a mother of two little boys who loves to dress her kids, it has been a constant struggle to find nicely made and affordable shoes, especially dress shoes. Most of the time, she will settle for sandals or sneakers. One fine day, she had a bright idea to create shoes for her kids that are similar so that they can match. That is how Little One's vision slowly came to life. Little One's symbolic two little waves evoke the true persona of the brand and focus on creating only classic, trend-defying, and versatile designs meant to transcend seasons and encourage the shift from temporary trends to enduring timeless pieces. For more information, visit littleones.com. That's LITTLEWANS.com, or click the link in the description below.
But I was down there one day and then I felt so bad. Lepas tu mesti diorang kata, Ash Malena ni betul-betul
Betul
delusional.
delusional. Semua orang macam, ini betul. Ash Malena and Refie Redzuan engage in an exchange of thoughts to illuminate the illusions. In this episode, the conversation on He demystifies Delulu, the state of being delusional, and finding solutions by keeping an optimistic and imaginative mindset. However, it is essential to strike a balance. While Delulu can give a short-term boost, it is crucial not to lose touch with reality. The journey of Delulu with overconfidence can sometimes lead to impulsive decisions or unrealistic expectations. This is their story. Ash Malena is a nom de plume. Hi Ash,
Hi, Refie.
how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing very well. I'm so happy to have you on the show to talk about Delulu. Is it the Solulu?
Thank you for having me on this show. I'm super excited about what we're going to have a conversation about.
Yes, and now Delulu is the Solulu is something that was very trending and something I think I heard it like quite recently. So I couldn't help but to actually give a conversation to this delusional experience that I have. In this conversation and the exchange of thoughts between me and you is about Delulu, the state of being delusional, and finding solutions by keeping an optimistic and imaginative mindset. However, I think it is essential to strike a balance because we want to separate between what is okay and when is not okay when you are delusional. While Delulu can give a short-term boost, it is crucial not to lose touch with reality. So overconfidence can sometimes lead to impulsive decisions and unrealistic expectations. So I'm very curious, Ash, what is the meaning of Delulu, the is the Solulu in your journey? And feel free to define delusional in your own terms.
Delulu is a cute way of. It was trending for a few years actually. something about it being online some time ago, but it
Mhm.
simply means being delusional is a solution. So being delusional is a solution to all your problems. Um, but I just want to be clear that what we're not defining the conservative medical term of what delusional disorder is, nor are we glorifying it. Uh, Delulu is just a derivative of that, referring to people who have somewhat of an overly idealistic belief
Mhm.
about their interest and possible fantasies and making up solutions in their problems by being a little bit delulu. So to take that a step further,
Mhm.
delulu is a solulu is essentially a way of articulating the
Mhm.
power of positive thinking. Um, it's almost as if you're making up positive situations to overcome a reality and to manifest that positivity to actually happen. Is that
Mm.
how do you feel about what I just said?
I think it's totally makes sense. I mean, I don't have clear picture what the Lulu is all about, but all I can say is I think the Lulu is the way to get things done, to
Mm-hmm.
get things the way you want it, or to get what you want, basically. I've lived my life being delusional.
So can I just ask you, what is your current
Ah,
delusional state? Would you describe it?
okay, now that I am living a sober life, I am a lot less delusional. I'm more realistic in that sense. But to just go back to when I was super delusional, when I was very depressed, I think I'm seeing things that is not there. But just to come back to it, some of the things that I think are actually happening later. I think being delusional is more like
Right.
a fantasy, like going on a website and putting everything into the cart, knowing that your credit card limit is only $10,000.
Right, but how is that being delusional though? That's just
Okay,
you could put it in your cart and save it for later, so that's all right. It
it's
doesn't affect
delusion.
you.
It's
So
delusional
I
because
suppose the delulu, being the selulu, is that you come to it later, thinking that you're going to make the money to be able to buy it off
yes,
later on.
but it's unrealistic amount of money. Like like all the total cart total cost is about $100,000.
Right,
And something I would never make,
right.
something that I
But
think it's impossible.
but but isn't that what being delulu is about? It's about
Yes, exactly.
overcoming the impossible because you think you can't make the 100,000,
But I made
but
it later.
exactly,
Ah,
because some
later. Yeah.
positive delusions can give you hope.
Yes.
And then you actually work towards something and you overcome what you think are your shortcomings.
Of course, at the time I couldn't afford it. So
Right.
basically, delusional has helped me to get some of the things I want in life too, because it's imaginary, it's fantasy, it's dreaming. It's something that sometimes have taken a bit too far. I think it has also impact a bit negative implication on my life because it makes me upset. Yeah, knowing some of the things that are not possible at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. There's sort of like a boundary where being. I will continuously use the term delulu because I think using the word delusional refers to the official delusional disorder. So delulu is just like I said, it's just a lighter form of that. So it's being delulu tatters on being unsafe,
Mm-hmm.
and when you don't know your boundaries between what's real and what's not, or when you are unable to understand actual physical limitations,
Yes.
right?
Right.
But let us know, what is your current delusional state?
My current delusional state is not delusional.
I love that.
What about
Well,
your current
uh,
delusional state?
well, I apply my delulu in most aspects of my life. Let me be absolutely honest.
Yeah.
Love, especially, but work and a relationship with others as well. Did you know that there was a special term called Deluluship?
No.
I swear, I just discovered this. It refers to someone being committed to another person,
Uh-huh.
even though a real relationship is unlikely. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's me.
But no, but hang on, doesn't it have some positive attributes? I mean, for me, I think, okay, at some point I did apply some delusionship in my life. And,
Yeah.
it sort of gave me hope that I'm not completely forsaken after all.
Right.
But hang on, let me just turn this back around and bring it back to you, right? You have to pay attention to the language that I chose.
Yes.
I chose to apply being Delulu,
Hmm.
not that I am Delulu. So it's not my identity,
Yes.
right? It's
Yes.
not an identity that I choose to be Delulu, right?
Yes.
It's just a mindset which I apply to make things better for me. So it has value in what it does for me in my life.
Yeah.
So I find that it can bring me peace,
Hmm.
because this would also mean that it's sort of the safe version of Delulu, right?
Hmm.
Because it's a mindset that I can shift. And when it no longer suits me, then I can shift it to, facing what reality is.
Yeah.
So I'm not making it my identity, because when you make it your identity, it's something that's very difficult to change, right?
Yeah.
I find that it brings me peace in a way, because life is hard and people can be unnecessarily mean. And
Mm.
sometimes being delulu about people saves you the heartache of the reality of actually facing awful
Yes.
and
I,
awful situations.
I like that.
Yeah. And being delulu is almost like thinking the best of them. I mean,
Mm-mm.
until the evidence actually is overwhelming and it shows you otherwise, then you really have to come to terms with
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is very important, why I say that it's a mindset to adopt and not to make it your identity.
Yes.
Because if you make it your if it's a mindset, it's quite easily shifted when it no longer seems that it serves you,
Yes.
right?
Right. I think it's also part of the process to come to a realization where this is your reality. But then, of course, with all that delulu, you work for your dreams and what you want. And eventually, you come to a reality, some sense of reality. I think it's part of the process. I think that's why delulu is the Solulu. It is part of the process. This is the journey to get there. So you need
Oh,
to
absolutely.
have a form of the Lulu in yourself in order to know what you want and in order to protect yourself, in order to feel you as you
Absolutely.
within your world, in your mind, you know?
Refi, that is so deep.
Yes, I think I'm feeling it right now because I was very much in love once upon a time. I was very much in love. And then I had this conversation with a person that I'm very close with. She said that, eventually we come to that point where I'm delusional. Although I feel that it's real as shit, as AF, but eventually we decided to label that as delusional because maybe that is to protect me that, it's just a delusion thing for me to experience, that being in love at the time was just something that I made up.
You made it up
It,
because you wanted to feel safe and at peace.
yes, but actually I wanted that. I think it was just right there in my eyes, and I cannot help it but to, decide to say, okay, I am the Lulu. This is
And
just.
how in this situation was your solution?
I think because even with all the evidence that I have gathered and I have provided with, I think not that delusional to me, but it stopped there. The synergy didn't continue. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and then I guess,
So you faced reality when it was time to face reality.
yes, yes.
So you knew that it was a mindset that only served you for a specific amount of time, and then
Yes.
when it no longer was the Solulu,
Yes.
and
Exactly.
the evidence was
Yeah.
enough to say that okay, this is, and then you had to face reality, and
Yeah.
then being Delulu served you at that moment in time,
Yes.
and then after that you just accepted things for what they were.
Yes. Exactly. So,
Which is really key, I think, in being Delulu, in applying Delulu as a Solulu,
mm-mm.
because I feel leaning too far into being Delulu, when you're too far in it, it can have the opposite effect,
Yeah.
right? So applying Delulu as a Solulu really lies on your ability to, first of all, bounce back when you realize to choose reality for what it is,
Yes.
right? Because in your case, for example, when you did choose to face reality for what it is,
Mm-hmm.
you were okay with it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's not like it got you into a position where you were really, really disturbed by
Yeah.
what you were facing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then the thing about being delusional is that you need to know where to draw. Sorry, the thing about being delulu
Mm-hmm.
is that you need to know where to draw the line of when you need to face the hard truth
Yeah.
of reality and realize that manifestation isn't going to get you there alone. Because Delulu is a Delulu in a way, which I said a little bit earlier. It's about this positive mindset where you can manifest your fantasies or
Mm-hmm.
your dreams or whatever it is. But it's harmful when one is unable to tell the difference
Mm-mm.
between reality and fantasy.
Yes. I think if it were to happen when I was highly intensely depressed, maybe it could have gotten there.
Right.
But it didn't happen when I was, I was experiencing depression.
This recent Delulu is a Solulu.
Yes.
Okay, right.
So that's why I can cope with the Lulu far more manageable than when I
Well,
was
absolutely,
before.
because
Yeah.
absolutely, because if you mentioned that if you were depressed, you would have had difficulty
Yeah.
with being delulu because being depressed is actually a clinical diagnosis which should not be taken lightly,
Yeah.
and we can't pair it up ever with delulu is the delulu when you're actually going through something that's clinically um, diagnosed,
Yes.
right? So you're brinking on very a very rocky bridge there.
Yeah.
So we're just talking about a very light delulu is a delulu mindset
Yes.
on individuals who are not in a position or in a situation where they are dealing with other forms of mental diagnosis.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Otherwise,
Okay.
it gets a little bit complicated, and
Complicated.
I'm not in a position where I can formally or professionally make comments on that.
Yes.
So we're just having a light conversation on the Lulu is a
Yes.
Lulu
For fun.
without
Yeah.
without any other very much a serious diagnosis paired into that.
Yes.
So, but there is a completely healthy place
Yeah.
for us to be completely delulu,
Yes. What is it?
100% and above and beyond. Can you guess when that is?
Um, Praying time?
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
when you make your du'as to God. It's you can be completely delusional, and you're
Mm.
absolutely safe there because there is no limitations in the power of God.
Yes. Yes. I like
So
that.
go ahead and ask
Yeah.
anything for what you want, as His blessings are bountiful.
And I do that a lot when I do my tahajjud. That's when I think I'm Delulu a lot.
And that's the safest place to be
I
delulu.
feel safe to be Delulu, speak my
Yeah,
heart out,
yeah.
express my feelings all I want, and yet still be respectful to myself. And I can cry all I want if I want to. I can laugh and be like, on the floor, on the praying mat. and, and just, after, of course, after I recite those, Nila.
Right, but
Yeah.
no, of course. But you know,
Yeah.
sometimes when you're delulu in your prayers,
Mm,
especially in tahajjud prayers, because tahajjud is very early in the morning,
mm,
and then you carry on your day, you have remnants of that delulu carrying on through the rest of your day.
mm.
And you know, being delulu, sometimes it helps give you the courage to make certain moves in your life,
Yeah.
perhaps to make, you know, if you're working, to make that jump at work, to ask for a raise that you need, to start a business
Hmm.
that you dream of, or for students to achieve academic excellence
Hmm.
that you've set. But you've got to understand, the basis of the premise is that Delulu is a Solulu
Hmm.
only when there is effort to support that Delulu.
Yeah.
So let's say in your prayers you're like, oh God, please make me a billionaire, and you're just sitting all day in your bed
Yeah. That's not gonna happen.
scrolling through TikTok so that I can buy everything in my shopping cart online.
Yeah.
That unfortunately it's unlikely that the Delulu will be the Sululu in this situation, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're not putting in the effort to make that Delulu as a Sululu. Now, if I was an employee and I was working really hard and I knew that I was reaching every benchmark, every KPIs, you know, and I was doing perhaps maybe one or two mistakes, but that's all right. But I know that my value in this company is such. And you know, I'm a little bit afraid to make that jump, to ask for a raise, to ask for a higher position, to be promoted, right?
Hmm.
But being Delulu as a Solulu helps you in this situation because you've put in the work.
Yeah.
And being Delulu in this is just putting value on myself
Yeah.
enough to know that, hey, actually, you're pretty good at this because no one else is going to give it to you. So you've got to be that Delulu for yourself.
Hmm.
And that gives you the courage to talk about how valuable you are and be asking for a raise or a promotion.
Yeah.
So, but if you've not been putting the work and then you expect Delulu is Delulu, then that's a little bit unaligned to reality, right?
Mm.
And another situation where Delulu is the Solulu can really, for me personally, um, keep me sane, I'd say, right?
Yeah.
It's especially when it comes to relationships, whether it be a romantic relationship
Hmm.
or a friendship relationship.
Hmm.
And like I said earlier, sometimes people are unnecessarily mean and people are unnecessarily difficult or rough and tough. And if you're slightly delulu about them, so meaning they're showing you that they're this, you know, rough and and horrible person. Um, in a way, being delulu is almost like you're making excuses for them. So you say, oh, maybe he's going through a hard time. He's actually really a good person, right?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
actually a really good friend. She's just completely inundated with work. And so that delulu saves you from having any ill feelings towards this person, and you live in a bubble where you live you leave this person in their life without having any ill feelings towards them,
Hmm.
because delulu means that you only think the best of them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So so if
Mm.
a friend says, if I got a friend and I'm like, I've been talking to her for 2 weeks and she's basically not responding to me for 2 weeks. She's actually showing you that she's ignoring you. Or you could be delulu and you could be like, well, I know she's got a project coming up and she's already told me she's going to be busy, and, you know, maybe she's going to be busy and I'll catch up with her later. So delulu is a solulu. It's kept me sane. It's
Hmm.
kept me at peace because I have essentially seen the best in this person. For
Yeah.
all you know, this person in actual reality, and I wouldn't know this reality unless she actually said it to me, which she hasn't, right?
Hmm.
Maybe she's upset with me about something.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't even want to talk to me, or she doesn't see me as a friend. But it doesn't matter from my point of view, because from my point of view, I don't have this information for a fact because she hasn't said it to me. So I walk away from this with the best intent, the
Hmm.
best outcome,
Hmm.
and the most peaceful outcome for myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how Delulu is a Solulu. I mean, it works in my favor in that aspect.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, in the same example, if she had voiced out already that, hey, I don't think, I'm kind of upset with you and I don't really want to be friends with you at the moment.
Hmm.
And then I have this information and I still want to be delulu about the situation. And now I think that's where it breaks to being a little bit unsafe
Yeah,
because you have clear and defined information from this person that,
yeah,
you know, um, whatever it is it's not a delusion that you're making up in your head. She's already said what the reality of things are,
yeah,
right? For
yeah,
whatever reason, they've and also given you the reason. So sometimes people say things to hurt you and they don't give you the reason, and then the delusion is that the delulu is that you make up these reasons,
yeah.
right? So people say hurtful things to you because you hurt them first, okay. But if they've given you, if they said to you, look, I can't be this way because of this, then you have to face reality at some point, right?
Yes. At some point, we have to. Yeah,
Yeah. Have you had any experience with that?
of course.
Tell us about it.
Um, I think when I come back to reality, is always like very upsetting because it's not the reality I want, and I'm gonna have to live with it and accept the fact that it's not the imagination, the Lulu that I have been dreaming about, or
Right.
the Lulu about. And then the fact that reality isn't always nice. It's nice. I mean, I have to say that I'm not going to be, ungrateful about it, but it's just the fact that I think it's another process that I have to go through.
Right.
But just to go back to the whole thing, I think it's just a matter of time.
Meaning?
Meaning that at the time I may feel upset about my reality, but my reality is always like a year ahead. That
Okay.
yeah, like maybe 5 years later, what I have deluded today.
Could you possibly give us an example, like
For
a real example?
example,
Right.
yeah, for example, having a family. I never
Right.
thought that I would get married at all.
Right. Isn't that the best delusion though?
But I never thought that I would have a son.
Right.
I would never thought that my life would revolve around Malaysia and America.
Right.
My family lived there and we lived there. My son was born there. Um, it's always something that I always thought about it since I was a
Right.
child because my dad has been working in the States um, for forever, for the
Right.
for the time that he has to be there. And then I never thought that I would go there for school, and then never thought that I would bring my family there, have a family. I've always been a Delulu person about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's lovely, isn't it, when
It
you do
is. Yes.
something and
It's
it turns
something that
out
it's
it's the
so
best thing ever.
yes, exactly. It's always something that I like, yeah. And just so at the time, of course, I'm like, okay, this is not possible. It's just something that I thought about. Okay, fine, whatever. And then I forget about it. And then 5 years later down the road, 5 years down the road, I'm like, is it just something that I was a Lulu about? So the Lulu is the Solulu.
It is. It
It is
is.
a Lulu because I am where I am today. It was because of the Lulu that I had 5, 10 years ago.
Right.
Right? So I'm now the Luluing about something that may happen in the next 5, 10 years.
Right. So that's what you mean
Ah,
by right. Okay.
and we really have to. I think I like the idea to keep the Lulu and the delusional separate. The Lulu is this Delulu, what we were talking about. Delusional is something that is a medical state that I think we leave it to the professional.
Yes, and
Okay?
if you're going through that kind of difficulty of, if you have
Yes.
some mental health issues, you need to seek the help of
Yes.
professionals. So
Which I
we're
have
not,
been. Which I
yes,
have been.
right, which is
I
good,
was,
which is
yeah,
good because you know when you need help.
yes.
That's
And I
very
was
important.
clinically diagnosed, not indirectly as delusional, lah, but because I was depressed, I start seeing things and I start doing things I'm not supposed to, and stuff that was self-inflicting, damaging to me,
Right.
and also self-destructive to do stuff that I did at the time when I was delusional.
Right. So,
Yes,
which is why I started the conversation with cautioning the difference between
yes,
um,
yes,
delusional disorder
yeah,
and taking that very seriously and seeking the help of
yeah,
professionals
yeah,
and talking about what we're talking about, which is just it's not really a form of delulu, but it's
yeah.
just delulu, which is just a derivative of delusional, but it does not refer to delusional disorder.
Yes. Like another thing, Ash, is that if you are not in the right state of mind, you're making that decision based on delusional state of mind, is that you think you can do it, but when you do it, when you
Right.
actually get it, it's not going to work.
Right, which is
Uh,
exactly what I one of the points that I raised is that if you're going to act on something that is Lulu, you've got to ensure that you've put in the work, the effort
mm, mm,
prior to making that. So I've given some examples when it comes to work, but when it comes to relationships too, you
yeah.
can't make up this delulu version of a person when they're showing zero signs of it, but when they're showing some
Yes.
signs and they're covering up, which is natural human behavior to be self-protective,
Yeah.
then you're dealing with reality of the situation, which is you do see some signs for you to be delulu, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What has led you to be on this journey? Perhaps in this, you can share your life's experience related to your self-discovery journey in the state of Delulu that is important to you and anything you feel strongly about.
Delulu is a Solulu in my experience has two prongs to it. So one is what you apply, you view yourself. Sorry, what you apply when you view others, and what
Mm-hmm.
you apply when you view yourself. So for
Yeah.
me, it's two prongs. Now, what I'm talking about is how I view others first, right?
Yeah.
And generally, I'm just a person who tries my best to think the best of others, even at their worst. It's almost I make up excuses for them. But I've never consciously adopted this Delulu is a Sululu mindset until quite recently. I was in a relationship that went horribly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I believe at some point, perhaps from my experience and my knowledge, that perhaps he was a covert narcissist. Gave
Mm-hmm.
me the textbook treatment, which I was unable to see through because I was going through some other traumas of my own, right? And I was a little bit lost. But when the relationship ended, it was rough and it was pretty nasty at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found myself even more lost and broken, right? I had some major cognitive dissonance in regard to the relationship. So I was uneasy, and my actions and my attitudes were not aligning. Um, so I had to reduce the distance so that I was no longer experiencing any form of discomfort, whether it was physical, psychological. So the way
Right.
that I did that was to adopt the Delulu is the Solulu mindset. Right.
Mm.
I was
Mm.
actually very disgusted with myself
Yeah.
coming out of the relationship because what I saw was I allowed someone or something like that to get near me, to get past me, to get to me, right? But when I found this Delulu being the Silulu mindset, it made it a lot easier to forgive myself, not
Mm.
him, but
Mm-hmm.
myself, because I realized that it had value, right? And for example, this person who I seem to call a
Mm.
narcissist, I wasn't Delulu when I was in a relationship with him.
Yeah.
because that should be cautioned against. Like, if you can't be Delulu when you're in the relationship, you're making up this relationship. I was actually in a relationship with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was Delulu to cope with the heartbreak when it came after.
Mm.
So his behavior wasn't aligning with his words. And that was some kind of dissonance there as well, even with him.
Yeah.
So, I was making up excuses for this behavior in a way that my mind could reconcile the words and his actions. And that's where the Lulu is the Solulu came.
Mm.
And it brought me a lot of peace. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the one prong of it, which is Delulu is a Solulu in my view of other people.
Yeah.
Now, Delulu is a Solulu and it comes to myself. Yeah, sometimes you need to be Delulu a little bit about yourself. Your hair looks good, your
Mm-hmm.
face looks good,
Yeah.
you're looking a bit hot today, and even though you might not, but it
Yeah.
puts you in a good positive state of mind,
Yes.
right? It's not about being completely fantastical or it's just that when you think um you know you adopt this Delulu as a Solulu mindset for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
realizing that you have to put the effort. I mean, I'm not gonna um, wake up lying down all bed all day, watching TikTok and checking my bank account and thinking, oh, I'm gonna make 3,000 today doing nothing.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. So there's got to be some realistic um, realities to apply to it, some effort, like I said earlier,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you can be delulu about yourself. So I think I'm not employed by anyone, but I'm putting myself in a position where, look, if I think I'm valuable to this company because my track record has shown that I have this, and this,
Yeah.
Delulu is a Solulu for sure, because I've shown my worth and I know I'm worthy than what you make it out to be, right?
Mm-mm.
And in this situation, Delulu is a Solulu is about myself.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got to apply that Delulu is a Solulu to myself
Yes. Yeah.
in order to, sort of propel myself forward.
And I kind of think that it's valid enough to be the Lulu when you're applying for a job because you haven't done anything to even prove to them that it's going to work because whatever that was working was in the past. So if you are joining a new company, for example,
Mhm.
you're going to have to prove to them that it's going to work with them by being the Lulu first.
Yes, absolutely, Refie. I
Yeah.
totally agree with you.
Yeah, yeah. Telling them that, okay, this is my credential. This is what I have done in the past. This is what I can do. Yeah, but moving forward to take on this role, this is my vision. Your vision is the Lulu vision.
Exactly.
And then if you
Absolutely.
don't do it, if you don't perform a year later, bye bye.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You need the
Can.
same delusion
Ah,
because basically I'm a business owner. I own a
yes.
few businesses. And to be fair, in order to get myself to be in a position where I'm able to start these businesses, I had to be
To be,
delusional. I mean, I had to be
yes.
delulu.
I like
I had
that.
to apply the delulu mindset.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten anywhere if I was pessimistic and if I just thought that if I faced reality for what it was, I wouldn't
Yes.
have gotten anywhere. And to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure a lot of these people who are inventors, creators, they must apply some form of Delulu is
Yes.
in
But
their business model or in their startups or whatever it is, because a lot of these people see that there is a gap in the market that wasn't there and they created solutions for that. And you have to be a little bit delulu to understand what the solutions are and
yeah.
to make solutions that work for people.
Yes. Yes. That's what it is. I think that's where we're trying to get the Lulu is the Lulu is all about.
Right.
In the same way that I would see if it's in a relationship. Like when I decided to get married, I was absolutely the Lulu.
I think I'm gonna be honest. I think every person out there already decided to get
I
married was
think
Delulu.
okay, especially me because I never thought that this marriage could last for 10 years.
Oh, don't be surprised. I'm pretty sure it's not just you.
And I am very surprised that I could even bear a child. That was magical. It's a magical way that I think God put you through the Lulu to have a little bit of faith and trust in Him so that it will, well, as long as you're not pushing yourself too hard, that is affecting you in a negatively. But there are times that it can do that, but I think most of the time it's just work, it's just process, it's just stuff that, you know, that's how things work for a relationship. So I guess, yeah, I guess this can apply to stuff like this. Like you have to be in some form of delulu in order to know how far you can go, like how far you can do, what you can get out of it.
There's a boundary to healthy Delulu and when it's a little bit more unsafe for you. And sometimes when you're unsure,
Mhm.
it's best if you are unable to check in with reality, check in with your friends.
Yes.
They'll be the one who'll be able to be like, hey, you know what? Uh, all those people who are closest to you.
And
Uh,
also, I have to respond to that too because I think God channels His love through people. So, when you talk to God during Tahajjud and everything, God may not speak to you directly. He send it through people, lah. That's why you need to talk to your
absolutely,
friends, to your people, yeah,
100%.
people that you're close um, with your
We're,
friends, anybody. Yeah,
we're just
we're
tools.
just tools. Yes, as much as AI is like the super thing, AI is a tool.
I agree.
It's
Right.
for him to send a message to us.
Absolutely.
And I thought my life was hacked. I thought my life, I thought in my delusional world, I thought my life has been harassed by this someone, but actually it's just technology or just getting smarter. Our device is a military grade device. So they're actually very smart. So wherever you see that trying to give you a message here and there, don't take it bulat-bulat, of course, but talk to your friends, people around you. I think it's important to,
Yes,
yeah.
because sometimes reality checks, you can't do them on your own.
Yes, exactly. Tak boleh.
Especially when you're adopting the Solulu
Yeah,
mindset. So it's hard to
yeah.
check in with reality when that's that's the situation, when
Hmm.
that's the mentality that you're adopting. So check in with your friends because especially those
Yes,
close to you because they'll be able to tell you what's real and what's not, and then it's
yeah,
up to you whether or not
yeah.
uh, and I go back again to the example of work. If I might think I'm the greatest um, ever created for this role, and then you need to if you and even if you adopt this Delulu mindset,
Hmm.
perhaps sometimes it's also good to check in with people who work closest to you or in your industry or your
Yeah.
best friends, the people
Hmm.
who have your best interests at heart.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
they'll be able to give you a dose of reality that you can adopt and you can maneuver into your Delulu is a Solulu.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm curious to know
Ha.
what are your hopes and dreams? What would you do to give yourself a second chance?
I think for me, I don't know. I really don't have. I don't think I deserve a second chance. But if I were to if I were to be given a second chance, I think I would love to reincarnate,
Where we all
be someone else.
and
Yeah,
we have the option to reincarnate to be whoever we want to be. Wouldn't that be amazing?
yeah, yeah. And I think I want to be someone else that I'm not. Yeah,
Okay, so that's you see the reason I asked that also
yeah,
is because it taps into your Delulu is a Solulu.
yeah.
I want to know how. Is there anything else that you do on a daily basis where you apply Delulu as a Solulu?
I think definitely. I think I do podcasts now. I think my Delulu is hoping that the impossible to happen. Like if someone who is so well known or famous to say yes to me. All I can do is just be the Lulu
I love
because
that.
I don't
I
know whether this person will say yes, and especially doing it for free.
Right. You know why I love that?
Mhm.
Because it's a Delulu, it's a Solulu that is completely achievable.
Yes, yes,
Right? Because you're putting in the effort.
yeah,
You're putting yourself out there, you're doing the work, and you're this, and then you're being Delulu is a Solulu, you're applying this Delulu as a Solulu in order to achieve certain things.
yeah,
That is absolutely possible, difficult, no doubt,
yeah,
perhaps. I'm not quite sure the scheme in the scheme of things, but from what you make it sound a little bit difficult, but not
yeah,
impossible, and you're putting the effort.
yes,
So absolutely keep up the Delulu as a Solulu. Yeah.
yes, yeah. Because I think that what keeps me going too. Because otherwise, it wouldn't have materialized in the way that I have done for the
Absolutely.
past 3 seasons.
Right, absolutely.
Look at the
Being
lineup of the
Delulu is a
guests.
Solulu, sometimes it keeps you going, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it does. It
Because
does.
you have hope
Yeah,
that the Delulu will actually be a reality.
yeah,
Right? And that's what keeps you going.
yes,
And to me, that's the biggest key of being Delulu is a
yeah.
Solulu.
And I can see also slowly things starting to come up. I have recently been invited to talk,
Wow, that is amazing, Refie.
yes, to how to start
What
a successful podcast to a group of
Right,
people.
and you probably
Ah,
deluded it as a
yeah,
Solulu from this
yeah,
aspect as
yeah.
well.
And the fact that they don't see successful as Stephen Bartlett or Jay Shetty's successful podcast. You know what I mean?
Right.
They see this hard work as successful. The lineups, the progress, the season by season that it's been done in the way that it is out there. That's what a successful podcast is to them. And I'm very proud of myself for having to achieve that little success in my career in this journey.
Yeah, but it's those little success that gets you going, isn't it?
Exactly. And
Yeah,
I
you
think
do the big ones.
in the moment I decide to like, oh, you know what? I think this is quit for me. And there are more another opportunities coming. God sending its way. Something that I think that I was deluded about. And
Right.
then okay, now I can feel like it's coming. Okay, okay. Then it's a sign not to stop. This is my calling. My podcast is also my truest expression of myself, and it's also my calling to keep
Right.
going. Yeah, to keep going and then share the story to people that, you know, people need this, I think. Storytelling has been there for so many centuries.
It just changes in the way it's being told, doesn't it?
Yes, exactly.
I love
So
that.
this is the way. Now, before we end the conversation, Ash, what about you? Yeah, what are your hopes and dreams?
My whole life, the only thing I seek, my entire life, really, the only thing I seek is to love and to be loved the way I need to be loved. Um, I dream that one day this would become a reality and that my Delulu mindset would actually be the one that gets me there. But that's my only hope and dreams, really.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for joining me in the conversation. I think you and I are inspiration.
Thank you, Refi. It's been amazing. This
Yeah.
experience of talking to you has actually dug deeper into my soul than I
Yes.
I expected. You're amazing, and your experience has been very enlightening. And the sharing that with me has been amazing as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Support the He podcast via a one-time donation, a monthly subscription from as low as $1, a lifetime membership, and purchase He's exclusive collection of merchandise. And for all other business inquiries at buymeacoffee.com/Refie. Thank you for listening to He. A new episode is available every Thursday, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We'd love to hear from you. Follow me on social media at Refie Redzuan and at He Podcast for all the updates and behind the scenes. Once again, thank you for listening to He with Refie Redzuan.